Test 1, 2. Test 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. I hear myself. Test 1, 2, 3, 4, 5.
Okay. Zoom is still open. Ms. Kane, could you give us an audio check, please?
Zoom is open.
Hello?
Okay.
Excellent. We can hear you, Ms. Kane. Thank you.
Okay, thank you.
They have this.
So we're going to call the workshop for June 16th, 2020 to order. As you see the agenda today, we have several topics, but no time limits next to it. It's a little different than what we usually do. But the conversation today needs to be more of a discussion, and the items all really relate and relate to each other, and it may even be a little bit of a flow from one topic to another. So if you are okay with this, we will take a break when people seem like they need it, because there's not one built in. But to sit here for 3 hours or 3.5 hours is a lot to ask of everyone. So if you do need a break, kind of signal me, and we'll work one in as soon as we can. Let me see. Questions. If we can only ask clarifying questions during the presentation, we may find that a question that we have in mind will come up later in the presentation. But if you don't understand something, or you miss what they said, or it seems, different than what you were expecting, that clarifying question is absolutely appropriate at that time. But if we can jot down our other questions and ask them at the end, I think it would be very helpful with the flow of the conversation. Okay? So with that, if the agenda is okay and everyone's good with this, we will move forward. And Dr. Greco, Mrs. Flowers will be here in about 5 minutes. Ms. Kane is online, and so we'll be able to pick all of that up. And Ms. Kane, if you need to ask a question or want to make a comment, if you'll use the little hand sign that we have with Zoom, we'll be happy to call on you as soon as we can. All righty, Dr. Grego.
Yes, Madam Chair and board members, thank you so much for, it's good to see you, all of you, and those of you remote. Thank you very much for this intermediate step as we approach coming back to some level of normalcy, or whatever, as people say, the new normal. As Mrs. Cook mentioned, our 3 topics today. First of all, thank you. This is a special call board meeting. We hadn't had, board workshop. We hadn't had this schedule. We have a board workshop next week, along with a board meeting. So we're going to keep you busy this month. And this workshop was called because there's so much going on. And I have to always lead with a sense of gratitude and thanks to staff for not only, as you see, setting this up, which took a lot of work, but also in this very room, we held virtual graduations. In this very room, we held faculty principal meetings in this very room. So we have transformed this conference hall into 3 or 4 things within the last just month. And I want to thank Beth Herendine and Sean and Wally and many others in the department for working tirelessly early in the morning to just make sure that everything, including the tablecloths, are here so that we're comfortable to meet here and the distancing that we have here. So thank you so much. This workshop was called, though, because there's so much going on, both at the state level, obviously the national level, and then locally, you're, as the elected body, the school board, we have a lot of decisions, a lot of information. So you might feel a little bit of an information overload today. It's not meant to be. As Mrs. Cook mentioned, when we set up this agenda, we did not, and yet we hope that the state plan, the governor's plan, what's referred to in the reopening of Florida schools, and the CARES Act would be released. But when we set up this agenda, it had not been released yet. And so we placed a placeholder there knowing that we could discuss the CARES Act, but we didn't know a lot of the details of it. Since then, as you know, the plan and reopening and the CARES Act, the details of the CARES Act was released last Thursday at 12. And I want to say that my invitation there was an indication of this district, not of me, but of this district and the leadership of this district. The governor particularly and specifically said, thank you for what you're doing in Pinellas County in terms of trying to take information and make sound decisions. And so they see us as a tremendous leader, as well as other districts too. So I was thankful and grateful for the opportunity to speak on behalf of the superintendents, but I also know that we're as good as we are as a group. So it's not about one person, it's about this district and it's about this board. And I made that I stated that in my comments and heard from the Florida